Good afternoon, everybody. It's Miss Morgan with the Williston Community Library, bringing you today's week 7 of the summer reading program. So today what we're going to do is we are going to make a whale out of a paper plate. So what you're going to need is you're going to need your watercolors, you're going to need your paper plate, and a cup of water, as well as a pair of scissors and something like a pen to draw. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. So what we're going to do is you are going to decide what color you want to paint your whale. And I think I'm going to make this whale rainbow. So I'm going to go ahead and get started by painting here. And you will want your plate with the bottom side up, like this. And you'll want to make sure you get as much of it covered as you can, because we will be cutting, so you want to make sure you don't just paint this side, or the inside, I should say. And if you'd like to send us a picture on Facebook so we can see your whales, that would be awesome. I love seeing when people make the activities. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is finish painting here. Alright, so I'm going to finish my painting here. And you can make your whale whatever color you would like. If you just want to do one color, you can do just one color. And then while it dries, because it's going to need to dry for a little bit, especially if you get it too wet. So while it dries, we will read our story. And we're going to read a story about the beach. Alright, so while that dries, we are going to read Ladybug Girl at the Beach. We're finally here, declares Lulu as she jumps out of the car and spreads her wings. I love the beach, says Lulu. You've never even been to the beach before, replies her big brother. But I already know that I love it, and I can't wait to go swimming in the waves. The sand feels warm under her feet as Lulu and Bingo lead the family to a good spot to spread their blanket. Lulu runs to the edge of the water. The ocean goes on and makes huge roaring sounds. She had no idea it was going to be so big and noisy. She takes a few steps backward. Bingo barks at the waves. Are you going in? Her brother yells, running past her and splashing into the water. I don't think so, she says. I really came here to build sand castles. Lulu retreats to the beach blanket to find her trusty pail and shovel. She builds a giant sand castle and uses little sticks for people. The king and the queen are very happy here, she thinks. Bingo digs a moat to keep them extra safe. Lulu walks over and sits down next to her mama. She looks at the ocean, which is glittering with light. She thinks it looks pretty from far away. Do you want to go into the water? Asks Mama. No, Lulu says. I want to fly a kite now. Soon, the kite is darting back and forth in the wind, but Lulu holds on tight. After the wind dies down, it feels really hot. Lulu glances at the ocean. She thinks the water would be cool, but the waves look much too big. This is a good time to remind her parents about ice cream. Lulu lists all her top 11 favorite flavors: chocolate marshmallow, cherry vanilla, pistachio, butter pecan, peppermint bonbon, peanut butter chip, raspberry swirl, peach pie, almond fudge, royal banana surprise, and vanilla. At the ice cream stand, Lulu can't just choose one. This is a day for a double scoop, her mama says. Sometimes mamas can be very right. Come on, Bingo, says Lulu after she finishes her ice cream. Let's take a walk down the beach. They find a long piece of driftwood. Lulu writes loopy L's in the sand and draws a picture of Bingo. He's the perfect subject and stays really still. It is very hot. Lulu looks at the ocean. Other kids are splashing and jumping the waves. She walks down to the edge of the water. "Should we get our feet wet, Bingo?" she asks. She thinks it would be okay to go to the ocean just a little bit. Suddenly, a wave crashes into her legs and nearly knocks her over. Just as she gets her balance, the whirling water races back and tries to pull her in. Her feet get buried in the sand up to her ankles. "Are you okay, Bingo?" Lulu asks. She looks around to see if anyone noticed that they were almost carried away, but everyone's playing as they were before. "Let's be explorers," says Lulu, brushing the sand off her knees. "We can collect things for our museum." They march off across the beach. They hear seagulls that sound like they're laughing, discover little crabs that burrow into the sand, and pick up slimy seaweed washed up on shore. There are also lots of shells on the beach, all different shapes and sizes. She chooses the most special ones and puts them in her pail. "I know, Bingo. I bet if we dig, we could find pirate treasure," says Lulu. She digs and digs and digs. Finding treasure is hard work. When Lulu feels the water splash against her, she spins around. The tide has come in. It's taking away her favorite pail. She has to rescue it, or it will be lost forever. This is a job for Ladybug Girl. "I'll save you," she says, snapping up the pail. When she looks down, she realizes she's in the ocean. She is actually in the ocean. The water is past her knees, and she isn't afraid at all. Ladybug Girl isn't afraid of anything. For the rest of the long afternoon, Ladybug Girl and Bingo splash in the water and run to the beach, daring the waves to catch them. "You can't get me, waves. I'm Ladybug Girl." Ladybug Girl and Bingo play until the bright blue sky turns pink. They make footprints in the sand. At least 14 miles of them, Ladybug Girl thinks. Every time the ocean erases them, they make more. Then it is time to go, and Ladybug Girl trudges back across the still warm sand. Bingo follows slowly, dragging his ears. Standing at the top of the dunes, Ladybug Girl waits for her brother. Did you like your first time at the beach?" he asks. "Yes," she answers. "I told you, Ladybug Girl loves the beach." The end. All right, so our plates should be dry now. If not, you can wait a little bit longer to be able to do it. I'm going to go ahead and move my camera down, that way you can see. All right, so what we're going to do is you are going to take your paper plates and you're going to fold your paper plate just a little bit like that. Then you're going to take your paper plate and fold it in half, just like this. This will allow your whale to rock back and forth. And then what you're going to do, and I have to turn it that way I don't mess up, is you are going to take a pencil or a pen or something to write. And you're going to make a U shape like this. And then you're also going to go and make a shape like that. So I made the U shape here, and then I went like this and made another line. This is going to be your tail. So what you're going to do is cut along these lines. you want to make sure that you don't cut it all the way to here, otherwise you'll cut your tail off. So you'll go like this. Just like that, and then what you're going to do is you're going to just trim this up a little bit more. That way it is even. So just like that. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take this and you're going to flip it out. Just like that. So there is my whale and my whale's tail. And then I'm just going to go ahead and take a Sharpie, and you can use your paint if you'd like. And I'm just going to go ahead and make some eyes. Like I said, you can go ahead and use your paint if you'd like. I just know that I'm not good at that stuff, so that's why I'm using a marker. Alright, so there is my whale, but there's more that you can do. So I don't really want my whale to have a flat head and a flat face. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just trim it a little bit. Like this. To make it look more like a whale. And then I'm also going to give my whale a little tiny mouth. So there is my completed whale. Alright, so that is going to end week 7 of the summer reading program. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and we'll see you next week.